Welcome to the ultimate breach farming guide for Path of Exile 2. In this video, I'll show you how to set up your breach tablets, optimize your maps, and scale your profits for maximum efficiency. Whether you're a seasoned player or just getting started, this guide is something for you. Let's dive in! For those unfamiliar, breaches are time-limited encounters where you defeat waves of enemies and collect loot. They're an excellent source of currency, high-value items, and map drops. But to make the most out of them, preparation is key. The first step to efficient breach farming is acquiring breach precursor tablets. You can buy these in bulk through trade for about 3 to 4 exalted orbs each. For this guide, I invested in 144 tablets, that's a stash tab full, at a total cost of around 576 exalted orbs. But don't worry, you don't need this many to start. Breach farming is highly sustainable, so you'll generate plenty of tablets as you go. To prepare your tablets, you'll need a few basic crafting materials, transmutes, augmentations, and reforges. Start by transmuting and augmenting the tablet, then check for mods that increase quantity. If the tablet doesn't have quantity, use a reforge to reroll its mods and repeat the process until you hit something worthwhile. Quantity is the most important mod for breach tablets. It directly impacts the amount of loot you'll receive, so prioritize tablets with high quantity rolls. Once you've prepared a stash of tablets with good mods, you're ready to move on to the next step, rolling your maps. To begin, we'll work with tier 14 and tier 15 maps. While you don't need an entire quad tab of maps like I have here, preparing them in bulk is time efficient and gives you a good sample size for testing strategies. Start by selecting white maps and applying an orb of alchemy to upgrade them to rare. If the map is magic and already has a modifier, you can apply an augmentation orb to add another mod, then use a regal orb to upgrade it to rare. This ensures you're starting with maps that have the maximum potential for good rolls. Keep an eye out for maps with the gold prefix, as this can interfere with drops. Move these maps to a separate stash tab for later use. Any bricked maps, those with undesirable mods for your build, should also be set aside. You can later reforge these or use them for different strategies. Next, we're looking for two main things, rarity and quantity. These mods significantly increase your loot drops. It's important to note that player rarity and map rarity are independent, which means stacking rarity on maps directly affects the drops from monsters within them. Since we already have a lot of quantity covered by our breach precursor tablets, prioritizing map rarity over anything else will yield the best results. Ideally, you'll want maps with at least 60% rarity, but higher is always better. Use a regex search to quickly filter maps that meet your criteria. We now exalt the maps so they all have 6 modifiers. There is a nice Atlas passive node, Grueling Journey, which will increase the effect of explicit modifiers on our waystones, such as rarity, by 12%. To further increase profits, apply delirium orbs to your maps. This adds a layer of difficulty but also introduces additional rewards, particularly for rare monsters. For this guide, I used 3 paranoia delirium orbs per map, which increases the number of rare monsters by 45%. You can adjust this based on your build strength and playstyle, maybe using only 1 or 2 orbs if you're not strong enough. To set up your map, start by clearing towers in an area so that you create multiple overlaps over the points. The more overlaps you can get, the better. For example, having 4 towers at 15% each will give you a solid 60% base quantity boost on the map. As you travel the towers, look for opportunities to clear out bad maps, like Forge, to optimize the area for better layouts. Here is an example of a region I cleared previously, quite easily getting high quantity values even with low quantity precursors. The passive Atlas tree is easy to set up, everyone basically uses the same tree. The breach tree is where you have some wiggle room. If your build struggles to clear breach or you want an easier time with it, pick Sustained Siege. Otherwise pick Grasping Hands. The other nodes are mandatory. Now, let's break down the total investment in our breach farming setup. We started with 144 precursor tablets, value conservatively at 4 exalts each, bringing us to 576 exalts. For the maps, we exalted 70 of them, and we're conservatively giving them a value of 3 exalts each, which totals 210 exalts. During the rolling process, we had to trash 10 maps because they rolled with the gold modifier, leaving us with 60 maps to work with. Next, we added 3 delirium orbs to each of those 60 maps, totaling another 540 exalts. Finally, I already had about 6.5 precursor tablets that were already on my map. Factoring these in adds an extra 178 exalts to the total. Altogether, our total investment comes to 1,504 exalts, or about 8 divine orbs. This doesn't count the cost of T14/15 maps, as they are really easy to oversustain. Per map this works out to be about 25 exalts per map, or 0.18 divines. Let's see if it paid off! Okay, time to liquidate everything into divine orbs and exalts. I only include things that were easy to sell in the profit calculation. Perfect Jewelers for 342 exalts. 230 Chaos Orbs for 828 exalts. 4 Stellar Amulets and 4 Logbooks for 4 divine and 100 exalts. Breach Stones. 14 for 9 div and 120 exalts. Next, let's convert all of our exalts into divines. 2,820 exalts for 15 divine orbs. We also found 48 breach precursor tablets, significantly reducing our initial investment cost if we continued with this strategy. We also found tablets from other mechanics which you could roll and sell, but I didn't include that here. So after 60 maps and liquidating all of the easy items, we ended up with 54 divines and 61 exalts. So our pure profit for each map, taking away the initial investment, would be 146.1 exalts, or 0.77 divines per map. We won't be doing a profit per hour as there are too many changing variables involved, setting up precursors, rolling maps, etc. But at least we know we will be making this conservatively per map. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. See you all next time!